This is my planner. It's how I organize my day and consistently find myself in flow. And while I love productivity apps, I have to go with the system that provides the best results for my goals. So in this video, we're gonna look at why this planner works so well and also how it reclaims the focus that big companies are constantly trying to harvest from us.
You know it, brat.
So if you go on Amazon and just randomly buy a planner, which I definitely didn't do, but I just, happen to have, so many of them are just bloated with extra things that aren't really that necessary. Mark how the weather was today. Did you drink enough water? Habit tracker, calendar, events, to-do list, goals, weekly schedule, daily schedule, time blocking, mood board, and the list goes on and on and on. Some are definitely better than others, but the moral of the story is most planners and productivity apps for that matter, try to fit your entire life into its system, which means that they go wide instead of going deep into any one thing. And if there's anything I've learned about strategies and systems, it's that if you try to make it do everything for you, it kind of ends up not doing any of it very well. So contrast that with the Hyperfocus Planner, quite literally a task manager. It's not a life manager like these. It focuses on one thing and it does that one thing very well. I'll give you two examples of how this works. Inside the weekly view, there's something called the core focus. And this is the number one single most important thing for your week. Now, I'll be the first to admit that it is oftentimes quite frustrating to have to boil down all of my weekly tasks and determine which one is the single most important task. But I designed it this way for a reason. You can have thousands of tasks, but you can only have one task that's the most important. This right here forces me to clarify the most important task of my week. The second example is in the daily view. Now, this is also a bit of a contentious point for some people because there are only 2 tasks allowed per day. It can oftentimes be very frustrating because we want to just fill our day up with all the tasks that we need to accomplish, right? But again, we're not trying to go wide here. We're trying to go deep. We're trying to identify the 1 to 2 most important tasks of today and how do I break them down and work on them. And this is not arbitrary. This is very specific because I've studied some really high achievers and very, very prolific, successful people. Lewis O'Brien, Tim Ferriss, Brian Tracy, Cal Newport, Andrew Huberman, the list goes on. But one of the common themes that I keep hearing from these people is they generally only focus on 1 to 3 main primary tasks each day. So I started testing this out and only allowing myself 1 to 2, maybe 3 tasks per day. I started doing that for a while and just watched what happened. I found that I was way more productive because I was crystal clear on what I needed to do and why I needed to do it, but I wasn't drug off course by other tasks that weren't as important. These are just 2 examples of how this planner forces me to clarify. Not that much fun, but incredibly effective. Oh, the other thing I was gonna mention that is surprisingly nice about this is it will never distract you. It never tries to get my attention, never sends me notifications, never has a low battery. It's just really nice. Most of the systems that I've used are really good at holding information, categorizing, color-coded labels, especially digital versions. The categorization is phenomenal. But the problem with that is most of those systems, after you've categorized everything and laid it all out, all you've done at that point is lay out your intentions. And for some people, that's all they need. But I found that I need a system that also helps me take that information, take that intention, and act on it. One of the ways that this planner does that is through the duration framework. And I'm not really gonna go into it now because I made a whole video about it. You can watch it up here for details. I'm also gonna do a complete video walkthrough of exactly how I use this planner. And I covered the duration framework in depth there with examples and all that. So that'll be coming out soon. For now, all you need to know about the duration framework is that it's just a system to break down a task into manageable steps that are completely within your control. Instead of just opening your planner and saying, boom, do this task. You now have, here's how long this task will take, 3 hours broken down into 3 1-hour focus sessions. Here's what I'm gonna do in this focus session, et cetera, et cetera. And I love it because it means that I never get overwhelmed by my tasks. It means that I always have clarity on what I'm doing and for how long I'm doing it and what's most important and just all those things. So it's a beautiful blend of increasing focus and productivity and clarity and all these things mushed into one area, specifically using focus sessions, or as Cal Newport would say, deep work. It helps me build momentum in a way that no other planner has, really, in my experience. You know, it breaks things down, so it's easy to build momentum that way. The other way is this planner has a kind of a starting routine. It goes through a little process of reviewing what you're gonna do, marking the task as in progress, and then setting a timer for the amount of time you're gonna work. And so it gives a little starting routine to help build momentum and put you in the frame of mind to enter into whatever that deep work session or focus session is. And that ties in very nicely to what Andrew Huberman talks about with focus, is that it's not something you just drop into. It takes time. It's a slow, gradual turn into focus. When it comes to focus and flow especially, clarity is one of the things that funnels that and really drives that intense focus. And so the last section about why this planner has just taken over my life is consistent, immediate feedback. For every single focus session that I do, there is a desired outcome that I have placed inside of that where I say, okay, in this focus session, here's what I should be able to get done in that amount of time. And then I do the focus session, and at the end of it, I review and I go, okay, here's what I thought I should be able to get done in this amount of time versus here's what I actually got done. In this example here, the goal was to finish shooting a certain video that I was working on, 3 1-hour focus sessions. I only made it through 2 of these. That right there tells me that something is off, because in the course of 3.5 hours, I only managed to focus for 2 hours. So it's a constant reality check as far as where I think I am productivity focus wise versus where I actually am. And I've heard people tell me like, oh, like there's no way I could do that. I could never accurately judge what I should be able to get done in an hour. I have to just set hard deadlines and go for it. And that's like kind of a problem, because if I can't accurately judge how much work I can do in 1 hour, then I'm gonna be way off for a project that takes like 6 hours. You know, that might mean the difference between planning on something taking 6 hours and it actually taking 10 or 12. Like that's a big difference, and learning just how much you can actually do in an hour and being confident in that is really important. And so I really like that this planner trains that aspect of my work. So contrast that with how I used to do tasks, where I would, you know, pull out my phone or my notebook or something and okay, task. And then at the end of the day, oh no, I didn't get it done. In that scenario, I have no idea where I got off track, where I misjudged my efforts, how long it'll actually take, how long I actually spent working on it. This just cleans all of that up. You can easily see, oh, I didn't accomplish this task because I got distracted and I didn't finish my focus sessions twice. So instant feedback, it's not all that much fun, but it is very, very, very effective. Now, this planner is expensive. It cost me hundreds and hundreds of hours to make, but I can honestly tell you that I've earned back many of those hours just in the last few months. Thankfully, if you want to buy one of these, you won't have to spend nearly as much. And if you're still not sure, the best way to figure out if this is for you without spending money, which is my favorite part, is to sign up for a free email course that just breaks this planner down. Each day covers a different aspect of it, how it works, why it works, who it works for. So that way you can see if this is a good fit for you, for absolutely free, no commitment whatsoever. I put a link in the description for that email course and also for the actual planner if you decide that you want to go ahead and get it.